Old model steamboats in poor condition. Part 5. This old steel hull has not stood the test of time from being in an outside building for many years, and it is very dirty and rusty inside. In this episode I test the water tightness of the hull and thoroughly clean and degrease the inside. I removed the superstructure and I put lots of this inside. This is commercial washing up liquid. Temporarily I fitted a big lump of ballast in the bottom of the boat when I put the superstructure on, because otherwise it would have just capsized. So I removed the big lump of ballast, and now I'm inside the boat with a brush that I found in the kitchen. It's one of those brushes that you use for washing up, and it's absolutely ideal for the job. I'm just going to leave the boat in the bath for a while for the washing up liquid to cut into the grease. I must say I'm really impressed with this bath. It must have been very, very expensive. My friend, who was a builder, just had it in his yard and it was full of leaves and debris. So when I said, "Do you know where I can get a bath from?" this is what I got. Thinking about it, this would make an absolutely wonderful acid bath. But it's a bit public in the middle of the garden, so I think for the moment I'll stick with my plastic dustbin acid bath in the workshop. So where's the boat gone? Well, it's on the picnic table on its side. And now I'm calling in the heavy artillery. This is a pressure washer. And for the inside, I'm using it on full pressure because I need to get rid of as much of this loose paint as possible. It might seem a very brutal thing to do to a model boat, but it's very necessary. This is a very old model boat, and the mechanical structure of this hull is not strong. I would guess it's about 50 years old. And it's done okay, it's still in one piece basically, but it's not going to last much longer if I don't do this job properly. Some of the solder joints that hold the plates together have given way, so if I don't do this properly, then water is going to continuously get into the gaps between the plates. After thoroughly cleaning this hull and letting it dry, I'm going to glass fibre the inside. I'm going to use epoxy resin and glass cloth. It's such a large model boat that the amount of ballast that's going to be required in this to make it sit at the correct depth in the water is going to be rather a lot. I daren't put the ballast in the boat permanently because the hull isn't strong enough to hold it. However, the boat will be a lot stronger once I've glass clothed the interior. So I propose to fit the steam engine and the boiler and the gas tank and the burner and the radio control system, and then some ballast. There will have to be some permanent ballast fitted, but the big pieces I'm going to make removable so they can be put in once it's in the water. Inside this hull, which has a cavernous space in the bow, I'm going to fit a water tank. This steam plant has a water pump that's driven from the crankshaft, so it will be constantly feeding a small amount of water from the tank to the boiler. And the good thing about this is that when the boat's bow starts to rise in the water, you know you need to bring the boat in to refill the water tank. As you can see from this clip, quite a lot of the paint is just falling off the inside of the hull. That is with a bit of help from my small pressure washer on full power. By keeping the pressure washer very close to the inside of the hull, the blast of the water removes the paint, but it only removes paint that's not firmly stuck to the hull. If the paint isn't removed by this pressure blast, then it's stuck to the hull and it's going to be okay. The steel plates that this boat's made out of are made from tinned steel, and I was told by the son of the man who built this boat that the metal for the plates was cut out of baked bean tins, lots of them. Now it's time to clean up the superstructure, and here I'm using exactly the same principle as I did with the inside of the hull, applying concentrated washing up liquid with a small brush. And then once again I use the pressure washer, but it's set to an entirely different setting. This is not full power, this is a wide, much more gentle spray. I do not want to remove the paint from this superstructure. In fact, the general plan is not to do a lot with the external paintwork because it sort of looks good, it's part of the boat. But I will have to paint the red part underneath. This is damaged. Some of the plates have lifted and there's been attempts at putting filler in there, so this needs doing properly. I daren't use heat on the hull. It would be quite a simple job, I suppose, to resolder it, but as one set of plates were resoldered, the ones adjacent to them would come loose. That would be a disaster. So instead I propose to enlarge the gaps to get some JB Weld in there. JB Weld is a two-part epoxy mix that has some steel in it, and it's amazing stuff to use. It takes 24 hours to set, and once it's in there very permanently. I've used this JB Weld stuff for a while because quite a few viewers started to recommend it, and I gave it a try, and they were right, it really is very good stuff. and some viewers mentioned that they've used it for repairing cracked blocks on internal combustion engines. This job took quite a long time, and if you look inside the hull now, you can see quite a lot of the paint is missing, and I'm still doing it. If you look on the top of the picnic table, you can see that there are quite a lot of flecks of the removed paint on there. I need a method really to get the paint out of the hull. Once it's thoroughly dry, I suppose I could use a vacuum cleaner, but to remove the large amount that's currently in there, I'm going to do this. Put the boat back in the bath, and I'm going to sink it. The logic being that the lighter paint particles will float to the top, and if I shake the boat about under the water, then a lot of these particles will just float out of the hull, and once it's all dried, I can use a vacuum cleaner to remove the small amount that are left. So with the hull now back in the bath and a hosepipe inside the hull pouring water in at quite a good rate, the boat is now slowly sinking. The copyright laws prevent me using the music from the film Titanic at this moment, but just like in the film, the boat sinks anyway. There it goes. It's interesting to see that the hull sinks in the bath pretty much like a full-size boat would sink, only everything happens faster. If I slow this clip down, so this is a replay, you'll see what I mean. Once the boat was at the bottom of the bath, I removed the hosepipe and then went in with the pressure washer to create some turbulence in the hull and flush out all the bits of paint. What I'm going to do now is remove the boat from the water, pull the plug out of the bath to drain the water out of it, and sit the boat across the bath and let the sunshine do its stuff. The heat of the sun will dry out the hull. And this is the final sequence, with the hull upside down in the bath being dried by the sun. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.